And here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday, the 20th of January, 2021. It's the birthday of Federico Fellini, the filmmaker born in Rimini, Italy, 1920, who said all art is autobiographical, and the pearl is the oyster's autobiography. It's the birthday of the novelist Susan Vreeland, born in Racine, Wisconsin, 1946, grew up in California, became a teacher, taught English and ceramics in the San Diego public schools, wrote a book called What Love Sees, based on the true story of her parents' friends, a couple who were both blind but managed a ranch and raised children with the help of a seeing-eye cow. Then in 1996, Susan Vreeland was diagnosed with lymphoma. She had chemo, she had operations. For a few months, she couldn't do much but read. Even that was hard for her. So instead, she looked at art books. She especially liked Vermeer, whose paintings were so calming. She started writing stories based on Vermeer, who only painted 35 paintings. So Susan Vreeland imagined that he'd painted one more, and she wrote about the imagined 36th painting. It became a novel called Girl in Hyacinth Blue, which was a bestseller, followed by other novels centered around art, including The Passion of Artemisia and The Boating Party. It was on this day in 1892 the first official basketball game was played. Springfield, Massachusetts, basketball invented by a Canadian named James Naismith, who was teaching at a YMCA training school in Springfield. He taught physical education, and the winters were cold in Massachusetts. His students were frustrated. They couldn't go outside. He wanted to come up with a game you could play in a relatively small space. And finally, he remembered a game he'd played as a kid in Canada, a game called Duck on a Rock, and adapted it into a game he called basketball, using peach baskets nailed to the balcony on each side of the gym. The sport caught on fast, got up to the college level. Naismith became head coach at the University of Kansas, and by the time he died in 1939, basketball was an official Olympic event. The poet Edward Hirsch, born on this day in Chicago, 1950, author of many collections of poems, and also How to Read a Poem and Fall in Love with Poetry. Here's a poem for today by Christopher Howell, entitled Dinner Out. We went to either the Canton Grill or the Chinese Village, both of them on 82nd, among the car lots and discount stores and small nests of people waiting hopelessly for the bus. I preferred the Canton for its blackened, bright red sign with the dragon leaping out of it and sneezing little pillows of smoke, and inside the beautiful green half-shell booths, glittery brass, encrusted lamps swinging above them. What would I have? Sweet and sour, chow mein with little wagon wheel-shaped slices of okra, and those crinkly noodles my father called deep-fried worms, fried rice. Among such succulents, what did it matter? We could eat till we were glad and full, the whole family sighing with the pleasure of it, and then the tea, all of this, for about $6 total. My father, for that once in a while, feeling flush in the glow of our happy faces, and asking me, "How you doing, son?" "Fine, Dad." "Great, really." In the light of that place, almost tasting the salt and bean paste and molasses, nearly hearing the sound of the car door opening before we climbed in together and drove, though we hadn't far to go. Dinner Out by Christopher Howell from his collection Light's Ladder, published by University of Washington Press and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Funded by donations from listeners like you. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.